Hello everyone, and today we're going to make a simple XP system alongside with a new overhead info GUI. So first of all, we will have to know how our overhead GUI will look like. So this will be inside of a script. Let's name this to overhead info or something. Then inside of overhead info, we're going to add a billboard UI. Let's rename this to overhead. Then when we have this, let's just close off this right now. You will have a script with a billboard UI inside of it. Then first of all, let's add a text label, and let's rename this to player display. This will be our player's display name. As you can see here, our billboard UI is a bit like below the spawn point. Let's just fix it already now. So first of all, let's make the properties a bit bigger so you guys can see. So change the light influence to 0. Then also the size here was changed to 0, 6,0, 2.25, 0. Then the stud offset, we will make it 0,4,0, and you will see it will be above here. Then inside our player display, let's change some things as well. So we can change the background transparency to 1. So you only have the text, and the anchor point, let's make it 0.5,0. Not 0.5, 0.5,0. It will be a bit glitched, but this will all be fixed in a second. Change the position to, let's say, 0.5, 0.3, 0.5, 0.3, so this will be more in the center now. The size we will also change to 1, 0, 0.15, 0. It will be like a small little text label, which will be like hovering right over here. Let's go down. Let's change some things. We can really like change this text to display. This will be changed depending on the player. I always like using Fedorka 1, so this is what I'm going to be using. I'll make it bold as well, so you will have like a small display thing here. And what we can do is we can duplicate this 2 more times, and then one of these will be called player user, and then one will be called player one will be called as well to player XP. So inside of our player user, we will also change the position again, and of course the size will be fairly the same but still a bit different. So for our position, we will leave it at 0.5, but our second thing will be 0.42. So we will have something like this, and this will just move it slightly down from the other one. The size will be fairly the same. I'm just going to change this to 0.12 instead of 0.15. And what I will also do is I will actually change my display name into white, so we have like a bit of this distinguishment. You don't see it yet because our player XP is still over it. So our player XP will be also, we will also change the position now. So the position for the player XP will be still 0.5, but instead of 0.3, it will be 0.53, which will move it down here. And for our size, we will just make it 0.1 instead of 0.15. So you will have 3 things here. I will change the user thing just for 2 users so you can see it, and then XP I will make it, or level. I will change also the color of our XP thing to something more like of an yellow, and make the text transparency somewhere about 0.5, like this. So we will have these things. If you want, this is only if you want, you can also identify if a player has Roblox Premium or not. So we will just add an image label inside of this. Let's rename this to Premium, and we will also change some things here, for example the position and everything. But first I'm going to change the image. I have already an ID saved for this. Image will be this one. The ID will be found in the description down below, so don't worry. You will see here it's like a premium icon. Don't forget to change the background transparency to 1. Then the size and position. The position will be 0.5 as always, 0, 0.2, 0. So it will be somewhere here in the middle. Then for the size, it will be 0.05, 0, 0.1, 0. This will still look a bit wonky at your end, maybe even on mine, but we just have to change the anchor point to 0.5. This still looks wonky. I'll fix this right now. Just here, the scale type, instead of stretched, we will make it unfit, so now it will seem like a very nice little premium icon. Okay, now we have our overhead, like our overhead thing. We got it set up. It's not worked yet because if we launch the game or something, we will see it's only at the ground here, not over your player with the correct information. But first we will have to make a saving leader stats alongside a small script that will give you XP every 30 seconds. This is recommended by somebody in our Discord server, which you can join in the description down below. So inside of workspace, we can click on plus, add a script. Let's rename this to something like data store leader stats. What's data store? Data store is something that we can use to let's say our XP is increased, and if we leave and join back, your XP will still remain the same. It will not reset. Yeah. Also, if you want to use data stores, you will have to enable something. I'm sorry, this whole UI layout has changed and I have no clue how to get through this. Yeah, here. So at shortcuts or something, I added game. And then if you go a bit down into security, you can see here enable studio access to API services. Enable this because enable studio access game services such as data stores, and data store is something that we will use. Yeah, we click on save. Now we have data stores enabled. So first let's name our stat. Yeah, I will name this to XP. You can change this to level, whatever. This is what will be shown in our leaderboard. And local start amount, we will start with 0 cash in my game. Yeah, or 0 XP in my game. Then we will also local our data store because that's what we will be using. How do we local this? It's game point get service data store service. Yeah, the same thing with local ds equals data store point get data store, and then you can name this to whatever you want. I'll make it leader stat save or something. Yeah, you can change this name to whatever you want. Yeah, game dot players dot player added point connect function player. Yeah, so what does this do? Each time a player gets added to the game, this function will be called out, and a specific player who joined the game will be our player right over here. Yeah. So what we can do is we can local our leader equals to instance.new. We'll make a folder. This has to be a folder, and this will be inside our player that just joined. Yeah. And then we'll local out our. Then we will do leader stats.name. This is very important. This has to be leader stats, all lowercase letters with an S at the back, because then Roblox will recognize this as a leader stats folder. Yep. Then we're going to local our currency. For me, it will be XP. It's instance.new int value. Why are we using int values? Because the levels are numbers, and for numbers we use integer values. If you want to do a string value, this is like when we use text or something, but for this case we're using numbers for levels, so we were going to be using an int value, and this will be inside our leader stats. Yeah, so now normally when we launch the game, yeah, you will have here something called value, but if you go inside our players right here, we will have a folder named leader stats with a value, an int value, which is set to 0. Yeah, but we want to make a name to our XP thing because we cannot just leave it at value, right? So we will make this xp.name equals stats. Yeah, so the name of this XP will be what we made right here. You can also just make another name right here, level. Yeah, but I'll be using stat. Yeah, then xp.value equals data store point get async player.user ID or start amount. Yeah, so if we already played this game and already had an XP amount, then it will just load this back into our explain code. This will just get the XP back from the cloud, from the save data, and put it back into the player. And if the player never has joined the game, it will just put the start amount in, which will be 0 in our case. Yeah. So now let me test the game. You'll have XP, which is 0. As you can see here, it will be in our players leader stats XP 0. Yeah. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna also just save the XP when we join into our data store. Set async player.user ID, xp.value. Yeah. And when we do xp.change, so each time the XP has changed, we will connect to another function with nothing inside of it. So if the XP changed, we will save the XP again. So then for next time it will be saved. Yes, point set async player.user ID, xp.value. Yeah. So the difference between get async, set async, this gets the value from the data store, and this will set a new value inside of our data store. Yeah? So even when the player is a new player, it will set into your unique user ID, because every Roblox player has a unique user ID. So that's why Roblox uses their user ID. Yeah? Then when the player will leave, we will also need to do something. So game players player removing point connect function and our specific player, yeah, who left the game. This will be data store. We will set async, so we will put something inside of data store, which will be player. So for our unique user ID, player.leader stats value. Yeah, so each time the player leaves, and the server or the game will make sure that the last amount of XP that you have will be saved for sure for the next time that you join back in. it will get the async that we set here. Yeah, so that's the saving leader stats done. If we get some XP, then it will save, which we'll be making right now. Every 30 seconds that you're active inside of the game, you will get some XP. Yeah, so let's make this inside of our service script service. Add a script, and let's rename this to XP per second or something. Yeah, you can name this whatever you want. Yeah, so we're gonna local our players, which will be get service players. Yeah, then we are gonna do local XP reward. How many XP will you get per 30 seconds or something? We will give you 10 XP. Local XP or interval, yeah, which I'll be making 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds the player will get 10 XP for just playing the game. Yeah, so players.player added connect function player. Yeah, then we also do is task.spawn function. We'll add a new function, yeah, which will be file player.parent do. We're gonna do is start.wait interval. So player parent, it means just if the player is in the game, we will wait. So the interval is 30 seconds. So we will first wait 30 seconds and then we will give the XP. Yeah. So if player and player find first child leader stats, then we're gonna local our leader stats, which will be player.leader stats. Yeah, then local XP stat will be leader stats find first child. Yeah, which will be our XP or whatever you have named it here. Yeah, for me it's XP. Yeah, then what we're gonna do is if XP stat, then what we're gonna do is XP stat dot value will be plus equal to XP reward. Yeah, boom. So normally now I will just wait here for 30 seconds until we get some XP. Yeah, I will get back to you. Okay, so I had to wait 30 seconds. I got 10 XP. So if I now leave the game, the data store saves it. And then when we launch back in, we will still have our 10 XP. Yeah, so that's both of our scripts working every 30 seconds. So if you want to change the seconds amount, you can change it here. If you want to make it a minute, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, 120 seconds. Yeah, I'll keep it at 30 seconds. If you want to change how many XP you get per that much, you can change it here. If you want to give 100 XP, maybe even 1, you can change it right over here. Yeah, gotta keep it at 10. Now what we're gonna need is put our display thing above our player head and show the correct information. Yeah, so as you remember, we made a script which has all these things inside. Yeah, so go in the script. Yeah, we're gonna look at our players again, which will be get service players. Then what we're gonna do is make a function, set up overhead or something. Yeah, with player inside character. Yeah, and then what we're gonna do is character wait for child humanoid. Then what we're gonna do is display distance type, which will be enum humanoid display distance type none. Yeah, then we're gonna do here again a character wait for child after this, and then we're gonna do is humanoid root part. Yeah, and then local overhead equals script overhead clone. Yeah, and then our clone will be inside of this overhead parent equals to character humanoid root part. Yeah, then what we're gonna do is overhead normally, actually, if we just do this, I think if you play the game, no, nothing works. We don't have anything here, which let me just see. Yeah, wait, let me just make a quick script here. So players.player added connect, what the hell, connect function, and then we're gonna do player. So what we're gonna do is player.character added connect function character, and then we're gonna do is set up overhead with our player character. Yeah, so then when we test a game, we will normally have our overhead thing right over here above our heads, which is perfect. Also, you cannot see our name anymore. That is because we put it here to none. Yeah, let me just if I just remove this line, then you will also see, oh no, it also removes, wait, I'm sorry, take it somewhere else. Yeah, you know, distance type 0. Yeah, okay, no, that's something else, I'm sorry. Yeah, so now our overhead thing is inside of our player above our heads. Yeah, but it's not showing you still the correct information. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is double enter here. We're gonna do overhead ELR user, should be for our username, text will be, so for our username, wait, give me 2 seconds. Yeah, so as you can see here, this is my username and this is my display name. Yeah, so as you can see here, they're using alt in Roblox. So we're also going to use this right over here. Yeah, so we're going to use alt and then 2 dots after the thing. So that gives a space in between what we typed here. Player layer dot name should be like this. Then we're going to also do overhead dot player display will be dot text. Sorry, will be our player dot display name. Yeah, so normally now when we join in the game, our display name, which is in my case artifile, will be right over here, and my alt will be right here, which is dev_flowy, which is correct. Yeah, by the way, if you don't like the size of these things, you can always tweak them. You can always just like look from this distance, change with the positions and everything, change the sizes until you like what you see. Yeah, I also think the Roblox premium thing should not be on yet, so let's just go in here, change the image transparency to 1 so it's hides, and only players who will have premium, which is I think I have Roblox premium. Yeah, it will be shown in my case. Yeah, from now the premium sign will not be shown. Yep, that's good. But of course we still also need to show the amount of XP that the player has. Yeah, so how do we do this? First we need to local our leader stats and our XP stat. Yeah, so first leader stats equals to player dot double point weight for child, and in our brackets in here we do leader stats. Yeah, and then we're also going to local our XP stat equals to leader stats double point weight for child, and then of course XP inside of here. Yeah, cool. Now what we're going to do after this is local XP label, which will be our overhead dot x double point player XP. Yeah, and an XP stat double point dot changed double point connect XP stat dot changed. Then what we're gonna do is connect, not with 3 C's, connect function, put nothing inside of it. Yeah. What we're gonna do is XP label dot text will be like this: XP double point space up right here, space double points. There's also space here. XP stat dot value. Yeah, so now normally if we join the game it doesn't work apparently. Let me just see why it doesn't. Yeah, this is my fault because of course our XP didn't change yet, so let's just copy this. Let's place this right under our thing here. So normally now when we join the game you will see our XP, which is in my case 10, and each time it changes, which I'll wait just for you guys, I will normally also, it will be updated right above my head. Yeah, so I will just stay in this position. Yep, and as you can see here, I waited 30 seconds, I got 20 XP here and also above my head. Yeah, that works perfectly fine. Now for the extra part is for the premium thing. If you don't want this, you can just skip. This is the end of the video then. But if you want to show that the player has Roblox premium, then follow along right now. Yeah, so first of all, we're gonna local our image of our Roblox premium badge. Yeah, so local premium image or something. Yeah, equals to overhead the point find first child premium or something. Yeah, and then we're gonna do if premium image. Then so if you found this, then what we're gonna do is if player dot membership type. By the way, you have to type this exactly like this or else it won't work. So equals to enum dot membership type dot premium. Then what you're gonna do is premium image dot image transparency equals to 0. Then else, so if you don't have Roblox premium, we will just make it to 1 so you don't see it. Yeah, so normally now when we test the game, I have Roblox premium, and as you can see, our Roblox premium badge will be shown right on top of here. Yeah, so this is how you make it. Every 30 seconds we will get XP. You will see all your information that you need above your head, and you can expand this how long as you want. You can customize this however you want. You can see it right over here. Yeah, you can see here, like if you want to change things, keep on looking over here, like at about this distance, how it will look like, you know. And I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys add it to your games and find ways to implement this, make it even better maybe. And of course, I hope to see you as well in my Discord server, which will be in the description down below. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.